Hello, and welcome to Join Our Town. My name is Mike King. I'm the pastor of Rising Fawn United Methodist Church, and we're here with Joan Kenimer today, and we are discussing the Tri-State Food Bank.
Let me correct you, if I may.
Okay.
And by the way, it's good to be here. We are actually a food pantry.
Is there a difference?
There is a difference because we are a food bank, food pantry.
Okay.
We get a lot of our food from a food bank. One of them is Atlanta, and one of them is in Chattanooga. And we are ruled and regulated by those two organizations. They inspect us. They come and see what we're doing and see that we're keeping our food and doing what we're supposed to be doing. So we are regulated by those two organizations.
Okay,
so we're a pantry, they're the banks.
Okay, good. Now I understand that. Tell me a little bit about the history of the food pantry.
Well, back in 1996, a gentleman built a metal building behind the Sand Mountain United Methodist Church in memory and honor of his wife. And it was to remain the property of the church for the use of a food pantry. While that was all going on, there were a group of men who organized a box give out of a garage. The first give out was 2 boxes, and it's grown to about 250 on the average.
Wow. Is that a month?
250 a month, yes.
Wow. That's amazing. Tell me what the purpose of the food pantry is. I mean, you've got a part of the population that you obviously serve. Tell me about that.
Well, purpose is to feed people who really need food.
Right.
So basically that's it. That's the purpose. Now, of the people that we serve, a lot of them are seniors on fixed minimal incomes.
Right.
We have people who are disabled. We have some homeless. We have disabled vets. We have grandparents raising grandchildren. We have younger people who work minimal type jobs, in part-time and don't make a lot of money and can't make it. It runs the gamut. It's quite a range of folks.
Now, I know where the food bank is, and it's almost right on the edge of the county. Do you serve other counties other than Dade County?
We have about 45 clients in Alabama. Our Alabama food, because of state and federal regulation, we have to source differently than we do the Georgia food. Mm-hmm. It's more expensive to fill up the boxes for the Alabama people. So we are trying to filter those people to Flat Rock. But we have some people who've been coming to us for years, and we're going to keep feeding those people.
Tell me a little bit about the food that you provide. I know my church went up there and helped one day, and I was very surprised. I expected, several years ago, I went down to Mississippi after Hurricane Katrina to help out down there, and I seen a lot of red beans and rice. And that's kind of what I expected when we went up there. But there was a lot more to it than just red beans and rice.
Well, we try really hard to make a well-balanced, appetizing box of food. We generally have fruit, canned or dried. We have vegetables, mostly canned. We have some canned meat. And lately we have been able to provide a half gallon of milk for every box of food and some frozen chicken for every box of food. And we have produce. Generally speaking, every box of food that goes out of there with everything that goes with it weighs in the neighborhood of 75 to 78 pounds.
Wow.
So if a person gets 75 pounds of food, if they have a larger family, they get 2 boxes. So they would have 150 pounds of food.
That's truly amazing.
It doesn't last them a month, but it sure helps.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm glad that you brought out the part about the produce, because most food banks don't have produce. They don't provide meat. They don't provide milk. It's mostly just dry goods. Mm-hmm. And I'm glad you brought that up. Tell me about your volunteers.
Well, They're all old like I am. I think our youngest volunteer is in his 50s. Our oldest one's 93. So we run the gamut. And we would like to have some more volunteers, younger, healthier, stronger than we are, because we're having troubles in, lifting cases of food.
Now, Joan, we were up there just a little while ago and took some film of y'all packing the boxes and so forth, and you guys work yourselves to death. And y'all do a great job. I know you say you're old, but y'all do a great job, and we're very excited about the Tri-State Food Pantry. Tell me what other organizations that you partner with that helps out.
Okay, we are considered a partner of the United Way. We get some funding from them. We're also considered a partner organization of the Chattanooga Food Bank and the Atlanta Food Bank. We do work in partnership with them, although at a lower level.
Okay. Now, are there other ways that the people watching this show today can get involved?
Other than some volunteers, we can always use money. We are a 501, is it C3 or 3C? I lose that. So any donations are tax deductible. We can buy 5 times the amount of food for their $1 that they can buy for $1.
Wow.
So we can make their $1 go a lot further than they can shopping.
So if I spend $10 at the store and bring to you, you can get a whole lot more mileage out of that $10 than even I could.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Wow. That's
exactly.
Awesome. So if someone wanted to give you a donation, they would write a check to the Tri-State Food Bank. Do you accept donations of canned goods?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. It's a wonderful teaching tool for children to see their families actually bringing something and giving it. And we like to encourage the kids.
Oh, yeah. That's something everybody can do, a can of beans, a can of corn or something like that teaches the kids to be the hands and feet of Jesus. And tell me a little bit about some of the blessings that you've received while working at the food bank.
Well, other than the hugs, which we get occasionally, and everybody likes a good hug, there was a little old senior lady from the senior center who was able to make a pot of chicken stew for Christmas Day meal that she shared with her children and grandchildren. And she had not had the ability to do that, and she felt so blessed to be able to give. That was, when I heard that story, And then there's another story of a set of siblings. They're seniors. 2 of them are ill. They're taken care of by their sister, who had nothing to eat but white bread and banana sandwiches. And they're now getting a box of food. And I'm sure they have got to be healthier eating.
I want to go back just a little bit to what goes into the boxes and who decides, who shops, how does it, I've been up there. And I don't see how it all comes together. It just, you go in there and everything's set out, it's laid out, and it just goes right down the roller. And, you go from no boxes to 300, it seems like magically. Who organizes that and does?
Well, we have a group.
Okay.
Generally speaking, I do the shopping because I'm, shall I say, thrifty. And I do the shopping. And somebody goes and picks it up in Dalton. It comes out of Atlanta, most of it. And one of our volunteers sorts it, arranges it, moves it around, gets it ready to go into the boxes. It's an effort of a lot of people.
It's very well organized, and I was very impressed with it.
Well, we've had some practice.
A little bit. We've talked about where to send donations. Financial donations. Is there a way that we can get you, bags of food or boxes of food, canned goods? Tell us how best to serve you in that capacity.
Okay. Right at the present time, the post office is gearing up to take part in the National Feeding America program. People can leave food hanging from their mailboxes, and the carriers will pick it up and bring it to the post office, and we'll get it from there. Or they can take their food and put it in a barrel at the post office at Wildwood, Trenton, and Rising Fawn for the next several weeks, and we'll get that food.
And they'll get that to you. I heard a number thrown around about the last time this happened. How much did you get the last time this happened?
We got about 3,000 pounds of food.
Oh, a ton and a half.
A ton and a half of food.
That is amazing. And that's just stuff people dropping cans in a barrel.
Mm-hmm. Cans, boxes, you know. We get cake mixes. We get all sorts of good stuff.
That's incredible.
Mm-hmm.
Joan, what else can we do for you?
Well, prayers. If you all would pray for us, everyone who's here and who's listening, if they would pray for us, the board, the mission, the volunteers, and the clients, that would be wonderful.
Amen. One other thing before we go. If there are some young people out there that would like to get involved in being the hands and feet of Jesus by feeding these folks, what's the best way to get in touch with you?
They can call me at home.
Okay.
Number is 706-462-2218.
And give us the days of the month that you're doing the packing and the handing out.
We pack the Wednesday prior to the first Friday of the month. Okay. Now sometimes that will be like the 30th of the previous month, but it's the Wednesday before the first Friday. Then we distribute our boxes the first and third Friday from 3 to 5.
Excellent. That's great.
And the people can show up there and we'll put them to work.
So just show up.
They can just show up.
Young and
healthy
ready to
and
work.
Strong and ready to go.
That's great. Joan, it's so nice to be here with you, and thank you so much for the information that you gave us. Now we need to do something with it. And by doing something with it, we become the hands and feet of Jesus. Mm-hmm. And we'd like to thank you for being here today, and thank you for joining us for Join Our Town.